Hey guys, it's Miss Raymond. Today I just want to show you the Making Social Media Work for You presentation that I gave on December 7th at 10:30 a.m. for all Plano Middle School students. If you missed that presentation, it's totally cool. That's why I'm making this, so you can see what we talked about if you're interested. So you may be wondering, what the heck does social media have to even do with our library? Why are we talking about this? And first, it's because I care about you. Everything that students consume, whether it be books or shows, movies or magazines, I care about. It's my job to know what you're looking at, to know what you're interested in, so I can make the library a usable and fun place for you. And I care about media. Not only do I care about the media that you consume, but I consume media every day as well. I know that media and the things that I take in affect my mood. They affect a lot of things about my life, my opinions, my beliefs, what I buy, what I share, all different kinds of things. So it's in my best interest to help you to be good media consumers and make good choices about your social media feeds. So here's what to expect. We're going to talk about the effect that social media has on us, who influencers are, how we can control what we see on our social media accounts, and I'm going to give you some examples of positive and wholesome accounts that you can follow to liven up your feeds a little bit. And then I'll ask for any recommendations. You can post those in the comments or send them to me and I'll share them. And remember, questions and comments are welcome anytime. Whenever I give a lesson, it's more of a discussion. I want to learn from you just like you're here to learn from me. So I love having conversations while we're going through presentations or afterward. So first, dictionary.com defines social media as websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. So social media can be a really positive thing. It can be a place where we connect with others, where we show our creativity, where we motivate others or educate them. But it can also be sort of a negative space because people can post whatever they want. So if they are someone who kind of thrives with bad energy, then that's what they're going to put out there and that's what they're going to enjoy. But that's not necessarily something that we want to participate in. So the statistics say that about 95% of teens have access to a smartphone at home. Now, this data comes from the Pew Research Center back in May 2018 from a study they did called Teens, Social Media, and Technology 2018. They took about 1,000 teens and asked them these questions. The study also found that girls dominate visually oriented social media platforms like Instagram or Pinterest, and that boys are more likely to play video games instead of using those apps. This is a stereotype, and the stats kind of back it up here. Teens say that they're online almost constantly. 45% of teens say that. And 44% say they're on several times a day. Now, obviously, the times have changed. We're in 2020 now, so we spend almost all of our time online. So I'd imagine that that 45% may have doubled in the last 2 years, which looks more like we spend almost 90%, or we spend almost all day on our computers. I think 90% of people would say that. Um, and teens also gave their opinions on how social media affects them. 31% said it's a mostly positive experience, so they're connecting with friends, they're getting a place to show their creativity, they're getting support, learning new things. 24% said it's a mostly negative experience. So there's bullying, there's drama, there's peer pressure, all those negative things that we get from social media. And about 45% say it's neither positive or negative, that they're just in the middle. Now, you may agree or disagree with this. This is just one study that I wanted to show you that gives us an idea of who's using social media and how much and how it makes them feel. A big part of social media these days are influencers. So, influencers communicate with a demographic that works with their brand, and they try to build a following. So sometimes they'll collaborate with other influencers to gain more followers. Sometimes they will do a big promotion or a giveaway to gain more followers, but that is their goal, to gain more followers, because they're trying to earn a living. Despite seeming larger than life and famous, influencers still have to work and earn money to live, and social media is their job. Though it's something that maybe started out fun for them or just as a pastime, it eventually becomes something that drives their life because it's the way that they earn their money and can stay alive. So at the end of the day, influencers are going to try to influence you. Their work is to sway you to do something, whether it's to buy something off an ad from their video or to give them more views or buy their merch or go to meet and greets. And it's not something you have to be afraid of, but it is something you should be mindful of. Now, these are some ways that I came up with for you to curate your social media so it makes more sense for you. First, unfollow anything that feels negative. So if it makes you feel bad, get rid of it. There is no harm in deleting someone on social media. There is no harm in deleting a company or a celebrity that makes you feel like you're not good enough. Get rid of it. It'll make you feel better in the long run. Follow positivity. So find people and accounts that make you feel good inside, make you feel motivated or inspired. That'll help you to be better in your life outside of social media. Make sure to utilize the different features that social media apps give you. One of them is on the Instagram Explore page. It says, see fewer posts like this, and it'll help you to hone your page so you're getting things that you're actually interested in that enrich your life. Next, get rid of ads that you don't like or that you don't want to see. There's 3 dots by almost every post, and those 3 dots can be your savior. If you see something super offensive, you can report it. You could say you don't want to see it. You can bring it to someone's attention if it's harmful, and make sure you're utilizing that. Though you are a teen, you do make a big difference in social media. You guys rule rule the social media, so make sure you're using your power. Mute hashtags. On Twitter, you can do this really easily by going to settings and privacy and just typing in whatever you want to mute. So if it's something you're tired of hearing about or something that bothers you or triggers you, makes you feel uncomfortable, you can mute that hashtag or mute that subject and you won't see anything else about it. And last, join groups. If you like a show or an actor and they have an account, go ahead and follow it. You will see that lots of people share your interests. Sometimes they'll post their own little theories about the show or things they've noticed, and that's a lot of fun. I personally follow a few Simpsons pages on Instagram. I'm part of a Bob's Burgers group on Facebook, and I find it a lot of fun. I haven't communicated with anyone from them, but I do like to lurk on the pages and just kind of see all the fun conversations people are having about shows that I really care about. Next, it's important that you pay yourself attention. So take breaks when you need them, and it doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't have to make a post that says, I'm going to be off Instagram for a week, be back later, love you, bye. You can just take a week off Instagram, delete the app, and see how you feel. If you need to decide how you want your social media to make you feel. So pay attention to your mood when you're scrolling and think, is this conducive? Am I happy? Am I okay with how I feel right now as I'm scrolling through TikTok or as I'm scrolling through Instagram? Make sure you're combating your negative self-talk. So if you find yourself in sort of a spiral where you see really pretty people or really rich people and you think, God, I wish that was me, or I wish I had that, it's time to start reevaluating who you follow. Because although it is really cool to see those people who are really beautiful or who have a lot of stuff or really expensive stuff, that's not necessarily real life for everyone. And what you're seeing is carefully created. So they could have a gorgeous backdrop, but it's just a gorgeous backdrop. The rest of their house could be a mess. Or they could have flawless skin, but they used Photoshop, and you'll never really know what they look like because it's not someone that you'll ever meet or ever see represented in a totally natural sort of way. So I just want to give you some examples of wholesome accounts that I follow. On each of these slides, I posted or I typed out my intentions for the app. So on Instagram, I want education, I want inspiration, and I want pretty things to look at. So the first one I want to show you is Nat Geo. It's the National Geographic one. That's where I got this picture of this cute little fox. The National Geographic page just posts really beautiful images from all over the world. They're beautiful people and animals and places, and it makes me feel really inspired. Next is Dolly Parton. You may think she's just an old country singer, but she stands up for a lot of people who are battered down in our society. Also, she has a great sense of style and she's hilarious. and I encourage you to follow her. She's really great. Salty Seattle, they make pasta art. Here's some little rainbow bow tie noodles that I just thought were so cute. And this makes me want to go to Seattle because their pasta is gorgeous and it looks so delicious. Next is the Trashy Collection. They make art from trash that they find. Here is some examples of that. And it's really beautiful, and again, it's inspirational and pretty. The next one is Attention White People, and this is resources for white allyship. It gives us a lot of great book recommendations and articles. They always cite their sources, and they give us some great news and information as well. And the last one is Hello, My Name is Wednesday. And this is just a really pretty page. I enjoy looking at it. And it's art comics about mental health. So it helps my brain too. Next, here are some wholesome accounts I follow on YouTube. For my YouTube feed, I want education, I want to see new places, I want music, and I want laughter because I go to YouTube for entertainment. The first one is BuzzFeed Tasty. They make tasty food in creative ways. Excuse me. After that, it is Disney Food Blog Guide, and this is all the food and restaurants at Disney parks. You might not know this, but I'm a huge Disney fan. I love the movies. I've been to the parks. So this is just a nice little taste at Disney without actually going since we can't travel right now. Next is NPR Music. They have awesome live performances from all your favorite bands and from some bands you probably haven't heard of. This is just a little warning. Some of the music contains some swear words, so please be mindful and watch and listen at your own discretion. If your parents don't let you listen to music with swear words, please don't tell them that Miss Freeman said it's okay, because I'm not doing that. Next is Relax Cafe Music, and this one sounds kind of silly, but it's exactly what it is. It is just relaxing music that you might hear in a cafe. It's jazzy, it's soft, it's sweet. I like to listen to it when I'm working, so if I'm doing homework or if I'm making presentations or putting a book list together for you guys, this is the kind of music I like to listen to. After that, I put the proper people, and these are just a few dudes who go and explore abandoned places. This channel is really interesting to me because they go to all different kinds of, I don't know, like institutions, like hospitals and schools, and other government facilities that have been totally abandoned. And they walk around and they find all of the things that were left behind, and they talk about the history of the building or the town and why the building was abandoned. It's just really interesting. And last is Ask a Mortician. This is a channel that author and mortician Caitlin Dowdy put together, and she talks about mortality and the culture surrounding it. So death and dying and plagues and cremation and all different kinds of things about your body and what happens to it when it dies. And I just find it really fascinating. Some of you may not be into it, but I wanted to throw it out there because I really do enjoy her and her books and her YouTube channel. Last but not least, I want to share some wholesome accounts I follow on TikTok. For my TikTok feed, I want education, nostalgia, laughter, and inspiration. Usually when I'm scrolling through TikTok, I am avoiding something, so the inspiration piece is really important to me so that I can get back to work and get back to doing what I need to do. So first is just a cute account. It's called The Frog and Toad, and it's a take on the Frog and Toad books from my childhood. So this gives me a bit of nostalgia. It makes me laugh. It's these two people who dress up in frog and toad costumes, and they make these cute little videos. I think you'd enjoy it. It makes me happy. Next is AFV Official. It's just quick clips from America's Funniest Home Videos. After that is Aiden Boyer. He is a talented musician and an autism advocate. He is a person who has autism, and he makes beautiful piano music to hilarious TikTok videos. And he blows my mind every time because I don't know how he does it. Next is Alex Guarnaschelli. She brings cooking tips and tricks. You may recognize her from shows like Guys Grocery Games or Iron Chef. She's pretty famous on the Food Network, and I was really excited to see her on TikTok. Next is blackbean underscore CMS. I spelled black bean wrong. But he's a talented artist who shares his methods and motivation. A lot of times he'll draw with oil pastels, like you see here on this portrait of Brittany Broski. He's hilarious and he's super motivational. Sometimes I find it really hard to be creative, but when you watch his videos, he gives you tips and tricks to find your motivation and to continue being creative, even if you're having kind of a tough time with it. Next is Medicine Explained, and this gives quick explanations of all things human. So if you're somewhat interested in learning about the human body or about disease or about all things medicine, this channel does talk about those things in sort of a cute, simple way that gives you a good, quick understanding of your body. And lastly, Leica, I think that's how you say it, Studios. This is the studio that make Coraline, excuse me, and Paranorman and other stop motion or claymation films. They show their process and some fun behind the scenes content that I find really interesting and really inspirational and just gorgeous. I think you'd like that too. So, just to wrap up, I want you to think about your intentions with your social media accounts. What do you want to see and why? Really think about why you want to see that. Are you just looking to see beautiful things that make you happy? Are you looking for inspiration or motivation? Are you looking for self help? Are you trying to love yourself? Are you trying to find a new hobby or even share the hobby that you already have? If you're someone who loves to draw, maybe it's time to start following some drawing accounts on Instagram or on TikTok or on YouTube, even, and learn some new skills. Is the content you post representative of your real life? If you're someone who only posts the good, the good, the good, the good, you're kind of adding into the problem, right? So it's important to post your daily life as it is. I mean, don't post every little thing about you, obviously, but you don't need to make everything perfect. If you want to post a selfie, post a selfie. Don't worry about editing your teeth to be wider or your eyes to be brighter or anything like that. You're perfect the way you are, so don't worry too much about looking the way that these millionaires and billionaires look. And last of all, if you have any favorite accounts you want to share, let me know. And I'd be happy to add them to this post, or you can comment down below. I hope you all enjoyed this presentation, learned something, found a new account to follow. That would make me really happy. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye!